Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is I want to go through a little PowerPoint to get us into the Power BI. Drew? Okay, so Power BI and everything we do in sales is all about numbers. So with this, I didn't have any accurate numbers, so I just made up this one. Studies have shown that accurate numbers aren't any more useful than the ones you make up. How many studies showed that? Just 87. Okay, Power BI, okay, is prioritizing more easily for you, for us. It's bringing the best sales opportunities to the forefront. No more questions about how do I find the prospects who are interested in a 2-bedroom apartment home. No more questions of how do I know if I have followed up with all my hot and warm accounts. No more worrying, did I follow up with all of my new web account conversions that Megan keeps asking about, right? And no more did I follow up with my prospects who attended such event, the latest downsizing expo, that was so well attended. BI, quite simply, does create better time management efficiency so you can do what you do best, and that's selling, and better yet, closing sales. BI helping you to achieve your sales goals. Power BI sales operations is for life care consultants, sales managers, regional directors, and executive leadership. The system, the dashboard that you're working off of now is the dashboard for those of us as regional directors, sales managers, and life care consultants. We wanted it all to be easy and consistent for everyone involved. So, to perform more strategic approaches to achieving sales goals. I had the pleasure of meeting with the sales managers Monday and Tuesday and going over this rather significantly. And the big thing for the sales managers is to work more strategically. Difference in going from life care consultant and into a sales manager role is looking at a bigger picture with that community, with that cluster, and what needs to be viewed similarly and differently with breaking it down to priorities and related sales tasks. With data directly filtered from Salesforce. Now this is key. The data from Salesforce, the Power BI data, is only as good as the data entered, which can make your life easier and more successful. Or, counter to that, if the data is not put into Salesforce, you're going to be very limited in regards to what the functions and abilities of the wonderful Power BI system can demonstrate. Once I get through this little PowerPoint, I'm going to show you an example of a Salesforce account profile and information as a best practice. And we can go over that a little bit, but the big thing for you is follow up with your sales managers and your regional sales directors to make sure that we are actively performing best practices with how we're entering data with our Salesforce accounts and managing it. This is a little cheat sheet for you. Okay, this is in your packets. So these are the tile reports you're seeing on the dashboard. Okay, so what I did was I simply profiled very simplistically what each one of those represents. So as an example, current percent occupied to budget, that includes your actual and projected move-ins as compared to budget. Year-to-date USCs by life care consultant and community. You can compare years, months for trends and planning, because again, we know there's a seasonality to the business that we're in. So we want to look at how that relates. How did we do last year and the year before? What do we need to address and be more proactive with this year as we go into the different seasons? The third one, move-ins by month to budget, is simply the same as the first one, which is current percent occupied to budget. Sales pipeline, these are your hot accounts, which includes both those that are on a priority list and those that are not on your priority list. Account record count, this is the same as account analytics. So again, when I go through this with you. I'm going to show you how these are the same, and again, how they function to best help you. So this is prioritizing based on unit type preference, ratings, and account quality scores, and by community preference. The action visits to goals, that's your monthly and annual tracking. It's a great snapshot as to where you are, as well as the action calls to goals. Again, another great snapshot. The big thing there is, again, it's quality versus quantity is most important. So as we were going over today with the sales training, it's so important with that pre-call preparation. Last contact, the next tile would be last contact 90 plus days, your hot and warm accounts. We want to stay on top of those. Now, one of the things that's going to be interesting there as we go through, historically, any new conversions that came through, and especially as new lead conversions with web, automatically go to a warm rating. So it's important that as I show you this, as we go into the dashboard, account quality score groupings and ratings is really important to help us to better focus. So I'll show you how that works. No previous successful follow-up, both with and without scheduled contacts. We want to make sure that we're closing the gap on those that are falling through the cracks that are, of course, potential sales opportunities. We're going to look at campaign follow-up with and without successful contact. Now, again, when you say without successful contact, that doesn't mean you didn't attempt. That simply means you weren't able to make that connection. Lead conversions by month and by source. So again, it's understanding your best sales opportunities. When I show you that, as an example, what as a lead conversion source has the best opportunity for converting to a move-in? Say it. Someone said it. Resident referrals, of course, absolutely. By far the highest conversion opportunity. Okay, so let's take a look. Yeah, I kind of got that from the wonderful story. Okay, so I'm putting Gail on the spot with this. Gail's our sales manager for Southampton Estates, and I need to get rid of baby Emma first. Okay, there we go. Okay, so we have Charles and Dolores Pisano. So let me walk through this with you. So you're going to see up there the rating is a hot. Okay, what does a hot rating mean to us? Stay on top of them. Okay, if you're looking at what's as a hot rating, when are we expecting them to USC from the point of last contact? Thank you. Within 90 days. Within 90 days. You're going to see off to the right it says ready time frame. What does that mean? Sales managers cannot answer. Ready time frame. Lisa. Yes. 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 And Lisa, yes, we got into this the other day with the sales manager. It was changed. Originally, it was as related to USC, but we wanted to get those parameters in place so that we could gauge what our expectations are for move-ins. And we know that the move-in, the ready time frame, can and does get adjusted, right? So what we want to look at there for this one with Gail, it's a hot prospect. When would you be looking at successfully gaining the USC? I saw the 25th. I like that. Okay. They better. That's how Gail works. Okay. So the ready time frame you have there, Gail, for them to move in is 6/6. Yeah. 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 Okay, but it's imperative that we have that information there to be able to better track our progress. Okay, we always also, when you complete a task, you always need to update the rating, or what will happen? Kathy, what happens if you don't update the rating after a task?
It's going to save the old rating, and the next person calling isn't going to know.
Right. Thank you. The unfortunate thing of being on my team is they get called on. Okay. Right here, referral, initial lead source was resident referral, conversion lead source is resident referral. I'm going to show you how important it is that we're tracking that information, especially conversion source in our Power BI. It's so beneficial for what we're trying to accomplish. Okay, the account quality group, which this one's rated a number 3, which certainly co-aligns with it being a hot rating. There are how many scores? What do the scores go up to with account quality ratings? 1 through what?
10.
1 through 10. What has the highest opportunity for advancing? 1. Exactly. So these, Bill Tamulonis, again, has done a wonderful job as our director of research and has worked with another organization where they were able to identify over 220 characteristics that applies to people more likely to advance in the sales process with senior housing as compared to others. So that is a key indicator. Keys to selection. Again, all of this is vital because you're going to see this when I show you the sales pipeline in the dashboard. So right here, Gail, your keys to selection consist of what? I thought you had it memorized. Okay. It's convenience of amenities, diversity of activities, floor plan choices, healthcare costs, and location. Objections include apartment availability. What does that mean?
That means we did not have the type of apartment they were waiting for.
Okay. And what was that type?
3-bedroom.
Okay. Family issues / objections. What does that consist of?
The daughter was not on board 100%. The daughter is now on board, but she wasn't at the time.
That sounds good. Let's go with it. Okay. The general comments. The house is on the market. Zillow's listing is low. They're saying or 295. Okay, so again, primary estimated value. We want to learn from them, what do you estimate your house value to be as part of our financial preliminary review, and what is that based on? Additional house information, primary house mortgage, they have a mortgage still.
Yeah, they're hoping by the time they move in, that's paid off. It's a line of credit.
Okay. And they have estimated assets of over $501,000. And these are all drop-downs. Okay, these are all drop-downs. So they're categories that you're selecting. Estimated monthly income is a grouping of $4,001 to $5,000. And then the estimated monthly expenses is $1,400 to $1,500. So again, that's incredibly helpful to get that preliminary financial screening and assessment. Off to the right, decision maker. We have a tendency of making assumptions with who the decision maker is. So you have Charles as the decision maker and influencer. How did you determine that Charles is the decision maker, Gail?
He's the financial man, he's an accountant, and he really is the one with the numbers telling her what they're going to do.
Okay. And as you can see there, they both have long-term care insurance, so it brings us with the opportunity or potential opportunity of the modified health plan. So before I go into their contact information, this here, preferences. Okay. 2-bedroom, 2-bath, and it's important that they're on the first floor. Pet? Yes, they have a pet. Okay. So it's important they're on the first floor. Again, I'm going to show you when we go into Power BI why that's so essential for us to be able to help you to achieve more sales and not having to dig through accounts. Okay, additionally, on their opportunities, your priority list occurred on 5/12. And the other thing I liked about this one too, it's a resident referral. So down here, you have, that was updated on 9/12 of 16. Okay, any questions so far before I go into contact information? Does this all look familiar to everyone? Is everyone doing this? Okay, we're going to work on it, right? It's a work in progress. It's okay. It's okay. All right, so let's see what Charles is up to. He's the hubby. Okay, so Charles. Key things here, we have birth date, age, nice, 73. We love that. Okay. Best time to call anytime, preferred is mobile. Here's the home phone, this, and who had one of the highest increases by communities? Yes, emails, there you go. Okay, so let's see what Charles enjoys doing. So Charles' hobbies are exercise, gardening, volunteering, walking, and woodworking. All good stuff for him at Southampton. Comments, he's still working, doing taxes and finances for folks. Not sure if applicable to veterans, not sure he can find discharge papers, ROTC. So you have him checked off, you've been doing research on finding out about that. He's, again, because of his career and his hobbies. Career and hobbies, why is that important in our sales process? Yeah, everyone hear that? Matching up, right? Matching up with other like resident ambassadors to help you move the sale forward. What was that? The what? The one extra. Got it. Yes, ma'am.
If you scroll back up at the top,
Yep.
just a little tidbit, a little sneak. If you hover over contact preferences, opportunities, it will automatically take you there.
Yes.
I didn't know if you knew that rather than scroll all the way down.
No, thank you, though, for pointing that out for everyone. Yes, it's a great point. Everyone see that? So, just as you said, thank you. Okay, so you're all getting the gist of this. As I said, it's so important you work with your regional directors for further training, development in Salesforce applications and processes, so it helps to make your lives easier and you more successful. So let's go into Power BI, and I'll show you how this all interconnects. Okay, so the first tile here we're going to look at is current percent occupied versus budget. Okay, so for the organization at present, we're at 91.22% occupancy. Our budget is 92.33. Okay, move-ins to date are 101, projected and actual are 431, and budget listed is 801. So right here, you can see how that's broken out. January, there were 13 actual. Budget was 19, so we were off by 6. Okay, you can go over here, and you can also hover along any of these areas, and it'll show you budget. Here's budget versus actual. So budget in February was 38, actual was 23. It's not matching? Oh, okay. Hmm? Oh. Yeah. Yes. Please make a list of anything as we go through and get it, as Carrie said, to your regional sales directors. This, again, we've made tremendous progress with this fantastic system being Power BI. With that said, there still are glitches, as with anything new. But the majority of it is really wonderful, as that is said. So again, I'm just going to take a look at the Northeast, since that's me and my team. And you can see here 23 actual move-ins year to date. Our actual and projected are 73, and our annual goal is 163. So if you go through June, cumulative, we're off by -1, okay, through that period, as of today. Any further questions with any of that before I move on?
Can we fully access our own region or community, or it's like
What,
drop down to show me other stuff?
when, as yours is better updated, it will be specific to your community, to you and your community. Good. Yes, yes. Yes, good. Okay. Is everyone else seeing that? Is it specific to your communities? Yes? No? Okay. Okay, yours is good? Okay. Okay, so next let's go to what we're paid on. USCs. So again, you're seeing what you have. So again, I'm going to just simply go over here. This is all year to date. It's current year to date. You can, and I'll show you, if you want to go back and compare, you hit blank, but you have to click off of that also. And then this will show you multiple years. If you want to look just as a comparison of last year to this year, you click on 2016 and you hit Control and click on 2017. And you can see here the differences. That also gives you an idea, especially sales managers, regionals, as to what you did historically and how to be proactive in your preparations and your strategic planning. Okay, you can also do this, and again, based on community, you will have the opportunity. I can pull up, since I'm picking on Gail. Here's Gail last year had a total of 18. Year to date, it's 6, and it has it broken out by month. And over here, it has each one of those listed, just to help you to reconfirm that. Yes. Oh, you're swatting something? Okay.
Sorry.
That's okay. Questions?
Review that one more time, again, how to pull up your USCs.
Mm-hmm.
So because it's where it says current year, we had true, false. This drop down says just true and false, but yours is saying all.
Yes.
Okay, and then,
So I'm going to back out. Okay. So right now it says true. Okay, means it's 2017. Okay, it's automatic. Each one of these tiles is going to start out automatically at year to date in the current year. So what you can do, though, if you want to do comparisons, again, looking historically as to where you are at present and where you need to be going forward, you click off the true, okay, and it's going to give you all dates. Okay, this will bring this back up if you just hit the arrow. And again, if I want to look at 2017, I'm going to hit, and then 2016, I'm hitting the Control button and holding it. Oops. Oh. Well, that's not letting me show. Oops. Okay. Are we good with that? Everyone good? USCs? Yes? Kim? What's it have on there? Just yours? So it doesn't have the cluster listed for you? Okay. Okay. Please jot that down for me. Okay. This one here, move-ins by month versus budget, is the same one as this. So it's a duplication. See? Now, sales pipeline is really important for you. So this is going to show you the top portion here, or the top section here, is pipeline. These are hot prospects only, okay? So, and the interesting thing with this is what we talked about the other day with the sales managers. This is based on account ownership. So for us in the PA region with cluster, we have some challenges with that. But I'm hoping for most of you, aside from perhaps lime and granite, it'll be rather clean. This top portion of this is pipeline hot prospects that are on the priority list. The bottom portion are those that are not yet on the priority list. Okay? Ready time frame has to be in there. Because because you may be working off of a whiteboard as an example and you have 6 hots, but you go into the pipeline, great point, Carrie. If you don't have the ready time frame, you're going to need to go in and update that. Go ahead.
One thing is that with a team of 2, with the sales pipeline, you're going to see more individual pipelines, which is great.
Right.
But in the scenario of home done for, and a public from available, and using that pipeline, it could be valuable to also see other folks who are the account owners, or the opportunity owners, see their pipeline as well, to ensure that you don't overlook somebody.
Your regional sales director has that access. Okay. Right, but if you want to get that access, your regional director can put that request into Rob Yancey to give you that special access. So again, this is just a foundation and it can be adapted. Yes, great question. Okay, so what I want to show you here, and again to Carrie's point, if you look at where the cursor is, that's ready time frame. Then, as I was saying, it's really important you click on those drop downs of your hot buttons because they come up right here. So it becomes a working tool for you to be able to update weekly. And I work with my team weekly to update, as part of our coaching visits, we update our hot prospects as to where they are and what we need to advance them based on what we know, what we still need to know, to include obstacles and solutions, and then timelines for the next steps. So again, this is a great snapshot working tool to keep it easy and clean for you. So I will just, as an example, I'll pull up Brittany Point. Okay, so Brittany Point has 3 hots, and they're on each of those are on the priority list. Now again, my question to Ellen would be to go back to and make sure if there are any other HOTS that she is working that are not on here, to go back into those account profiles and make sure that the ready timeframes are in there and updated. Now, the other thing after we go into the hot buttons is going to be objections. So again, it's a really nice tool at a glance. So for here, the top one, the objection is not ready yet. And then the second one is location. There is none listed for the third, which also gives us an opportunity to revisit that, to make sure that there are no objections that could relate to, we're expecting them to USC within the next 90 days. We want to make sure we have everything covered so there's nothing that comes out as a surprise that would prevent that from happening, especially because you have that ready time frame. So we're tracking that. We're expecting that move in. Yes?
I know we talked about this, but like, what if you're hot, your ready time frame is now, but you just don't have that specific unit. You know they're on your radar.
Mm-hmm.
You know they're hot. You know they're telling you they're ready now. You get what I want, I'm ready. But that's gonna get you confused with your ready time frame and your hot. Like some are ready now, hot. Some are hot. Most of the HOTs, most of your HOTs ready now. It's just a matter of if you have what you're looking for.
Yeah, that's what runs it. Yeah, how do you deal with that with yours? So how do you put it in Salesforce in terms of that data? It's a great question because, again, if you don't have it, we have a manual pipeline that we've worked from for the last 3 years. And what that is, the first page is for those that have units that are available, that are of their preference. Second page is those for that we do not have their first preference that is available. Of course, we're always looking to see what we can create. If they're looking at a 3-bedroom, can we get them in a 2-bedroom? What does that savings look like? But of course, that's not always going to work, right? Will you write that down for me? Yeah, that's a good one. Again, we can follow up on that because that is really pertinent. If we have that there, what do we put in as a ready time frame is a great question. Yes, because we don't know when that may come available.
But I think you can keep it as the ready time frame, but there is a pull down for objections for availability.
Yes, there is. And then you just adjust the ready time frame?
Keep them as hot, but you just keep moving out the ready time frame.
Yeah?
Yeah, and put the objections.
Yes. Now, to Carrie's point, Carrie, I'm sorry, but I pulled up Country House. To Carrie's point, if you don't put ready time frame in, and I'm sure you have HOTS there, right? Yes. So it gives you a good opportunity to go back and revisit that. The ready time frame. You have to have ready time frame listed in the Salesforce account profile, or it won't come up. It correlates directly to them being hot. Okay, so again, just a reminder, here it is on the account profile. It's right here. Enter a date within the general time frame of when the prospect will be ready and considering to move in. So again, to your point, Kathy and Jill, you're absolutely right. It's when they're ready, but the unit may not be available, so we have to keep backing it up. Okay. Okay, how's everyone holding up? Okay. See, this is why I wanted you to bring your laptops. It's great to see you all engaged as you're looking at it and sorting it through. Yes?
Say you put in their ready time frame was March 1st,
Mm-hmm.
and we're now April. Do they disappear?
That's a good question. I don't know. That's a good question.
If the ready time frame was March 1st, 2017, and we're now in April, do they still show up, or do they disappear?
It'll still show up, because I have one that's January of 2017, and that's still.
And it's still there? Say that again, please. Because it's a great point. It's about account management. That's what you're referring to. Right, right. And again, that's the thing. We practice that. We update weekly. That's, again, the whole idea with this. In managing those accounts with urgency, and again, as it relates to availability. Now, I'm moving on to, because I don't want to completely overfry your brains. This one here, account record count and account analytics, they're the same report. Okay? So again, on that cheat sheet I gave you, it should be indicated as such. This is my favorite report. But again, I need to reemphasize, it's only as good as the information that's put in. So let me go through this with you. So it has priority rank. This is of the community. So if their number one preference is Normandy Farm Estates, I can then go in here and I can say I want number one. Okay, Normandy Farm Estates. And I want everyone interested in a 3-bedroom. Okay, so it shows me 140 people. I can go in here and I can say, I only want to look at those that are on a priority list. It shows me 65. Then it breaks it out by the rating. I want to look at who that hot is. Okay, there they are right there. It's Harry and Nancy Park. Okay.
Except they're really only hot for a carriage house.
They're only what?
Really only hot for a carriage house, but it came up under 3 bedrooms.
So then also there are 4 that are rated as warm. Now, with these, okay, these are the account quality groups as I was talking about. So if I'm looking at number 1, there are 8 listed as that, and here they are. They're all listed right here. So what I can do, and I was showing your sales managers this the other day, it's really easy. So for you to reach out to them and say, I'm going to contact those that are an account quality score 1 and those that are a hot and warm on my priority list. And you pull them here. If these 3 little dots, okay, it's going to say more options. You export the data. When you export the data, it brings it up in an Excel spreadsheet that you can then filter how you desire. Okay, so here they are. These are the accounts. Actually, where are the names? I don't know where the names are. Oh, sorry, I wanted these. Export data. Okay, there they are. So these are the ones, and you can see at the top, rated 3-bedroom, priority list, account ranking of 1. So here they are. So if I want to filter them by, the owner, I can simply sort. There they are. Okay, if they had different ratings, I can also sort. They're all the same. They're all listed as future. Okay, so again, I'm just trying to show you how easy this is to give you information right in front of you in a manner that really can funnel it and prioritize it any which way that you need for your sales goals. Okay? This one here is if I want to look at the Axe website for the same things, Normandy, first preference, 3-bedroom is their priority. There are 11 on that as related to the lead conversion source being the Axe website. If I want to look and see if there are any related to resident referrals, there are 17. So again, I'm going to jump all over those, right? It's a great point. Yeah. I made a mistake with the sales managers the other day. I said, you know what I do for fun, evenings and weekends? I go in and play around with this. I said, yeah, that's my pathetic life. Yeah, that's it. Okay, any additional questions with this before I move on? Again, it's a lot to process. Go ahead. Sure. The ready time frame? Okay, well, for hot? No, this is based on ready time frame for the pipeline. Yeah, that's a direct correlation there. So I don't have an answer for you at this moment. Yes, jot it down please for your regional. Okay, I'm going to go back to the tile. So again, these two are the same report. So let's go over 2 action visits. Okay, so again, this is a simple snapshot, which also provides who they are as it relates to the team members. And here's the account detail information. So again, you can export that. So if I want to look up its current year, and I want to look up Fort Washington, okay, these are the actual counts. So Lisa had 12 in January as compared to goal of 16, 16 in February, 14 in March, and 10 so far in April. And here they are. So again, if you hit these 3 dots, you hit export data, that's going to bring those up. And then you can filter, as I said, however you need to. And this here, of course, these are first action visits. So we want to monitor that we're following up from first action visits to create opportunities for subsequent action visits, of course, as we look to move our prospective residents and their family members through our sales process. Okay. You guys all doing okay clicking around with that? Yeah? It's pretty easy, isn't it? Yeah. Okay, so here's the foundation. Here's the foundation of our sales process. The action calls. Okay, so this the same format as we just saw with action visits. So right now, as a total, there had been 71. Wow. So here for the Northeast, this gives you again the numbers as compared to budget for the entire region. And I can break that down to any one person on here. And there it relates to Ellen. Other calls. Carrie, you want to make a comment about other calls? And what counts as an action call? What do you feel counts as an action call? Anything that furthers the sales process. Anyone else? When I'm sorry. To coordinate that, does that count? Yes? No? Okay, so I have Mr. and Mrs. Smith coming in Saturday, and I want Mr. Johnson and his wife to help host them. So I'm calling them, hey, I'd love for them to see your lovely 2-bedroom apartment home because that's what they're interested in as well. What is your availability for that and to have lunch with them on Saturday? It's great. Is that an action call? No, it's not. Lori. And these are and these are prospective residents opportunities. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Well, Lori, this is why we're asking. It's a great question because you're trying to create, of course, revenue opportunities, and there's a gray area with this that we need a policy, an updated policy on, because of this. So, for now, Carrie, give us your thoughts the next. Go ahead. Okay, so Kathy said, yes, those current residents said, I do have a lead for you, as a matter of fact, and here's their contact information. So Kathy's saying that should probably count, right, as an action call? Again, you see the challenge we're running into? We want to give you the credit that you work for. We certainly get it. And right now, we're not counting emails as completed action calls either. Right. And we recognize that, and especially as we're dealing so actively with the adult children, oftentimes, I mean, we're certainly doing emails to be able to reach them. I know that when I get home at night, I don't want to be on the phone with someone. I want to be able to control that communication. Same with text messages. So that's what we're looking into, and we've been talking with Rob Yancey and, of course, Lori and Megan as to how do we integrate that so that you all get the credit for the work that you're doing, okay? But I just wanted to bring that up so you understand the complexities of what we're trying to track and what's not being tracked at present. Okay, this one here, hot and warms, last action contact 90 plus days, past due. So for this one here, it is Gwinnett Estates. These here are accounts with scheduled contacts. So there are 10 hot and warm that are past due from their last scheduled activity. These here are the ones we want to make sure are not falling through the cracks. So there are 3 there that do not have a next scheduled contact. That happens frequently, unfortunately, because you're so busy and you're multitasking all the time. So it's common for those types of things to happen. This is another thing that we're trying to save you further issues with by being able to capture that and put it right there in the dashboard for you. Okay, those with no previous successful contact. Lisa.
I have a question. I think we've asked this question before with Salesforce versus those of us who used to work with lead tracks.
Mm-hmm.
There are often things in Salesforce that when you try to get out of an account and go to the next page, if you've missed something, it prompts you to put something in, like the rating or
Mm-hmm.
things of that nature.
Mm-hmm.
Couldn't there be a way for us to be prompted in Salesforce because we're busy and we get distracted to say, are you sure you don't want to put in another task? So that we don't have this happen where we're having leads that have no scheduled task because we've forgotten to.
Carrie, Lisa was just asking, and it's a good question. I believe this is one of the many things we've talked with Rob Yancey about, is if you didn't put a next scheduled task in there, there would be a prompt along the lines of, are you sure you don't want to schedule? Because we've also talked about required areas too that need so many moving pieces, as you can see. It's a great point. It would certainly save us from
We wouldn't have
this.
that
Right.
need because we know we have the task in already.
Right.
At least we have that.
Okay, campaign follow-up. We all know we're spending a lot of money. We hear that from Lori, Dave, the marketing team, spending a lot of money on these events. The events are only as good as their outcomes. It's not about their attendance, it's about their outcomes. How many people are you seeing from those events prior to listing you seeing and becoming move-ins? Huh. What happened there? There we go. Okay, so I'm going to go to Brittany Point. Again, these are the ones that have occurred so far this year. On 4/5, we had a downsizing expo that was incredibly well attended. Okay, so as you can see here, we had 47 households in attendance. What this is, campaign follow-up that's been successful so far, which is right here, are these people. So the combined team of Brittany Point and Normandy, because this was a combined event of the two communities, were able to successfully reconnect following the event with 25 of these 47 households. These are the ones here that they haven't been able to attend, or I'm sorry, connect with successfully at this point. So again, it gives us a nice, simple update. Oh yeah, reminder, I have to follow up with these people because I know that they expressed to me verbally that they loved this event and found it so helpful to be able to start looking at moving forward. Any other one you want me to look at? Any other community marketing event? Come on, chickens. Okay. This one here, upcoming events, that's a work in progress. It's not completed. But here's the other reports that you've requested that we retain. So it's easy also for you to go to. These are your go-to reports, such as, of course, your vacancy detail report. Geez, I should have pulled up Normandy, right, Kathy and Jill? Okay, so here we are. This is what we currently have available, selected, committed, okay, and the pricing. And then we have our priority list report. So we didn't change everything out. We didn't want to throw you completely off. So if I go into here, I click on the plus sign for Fort Washington number 21. I'm going to click on this to see what one bedrooms I have. And there they are. And it will tell you their status. And then your master price list. Okay? You've had a lot of information today. Gone through an awful lot. And again, I thank Megan for putting me here, okay, to do this to you, to torture you further at the end, okay? Part of my going away present. But as you can tell, we've successfully put some great information together that's very easy for you to access. As you uncover additional needs, you need to let your regional sales directors know so we can work with Rob in implementing and updating. Okay, so as you go through these reports, when you take some time next week, go through the reports, better understand what they are, what they represent, how they can help you. And if there are other areas that you want to add on or edit, we can do that. Okay, we have all the information. Again, my last parting note with this is, please work with your regional sales directors, sales managers, training on Salesforce, Salesforce data in. Again, it all goes hand in hand with all the wonderful information that Tracy shared with you yesterday and today. As you're doing a great job with gathering information on prospective residents and their family members, it's imperative you put that information in the proper manner, the proper areas with Salesforce so it makes your lives easier. Okay? Does that make sense to everyone? I had someone tell me yesterday, we were putting all of that information, such as HOTS and obstacles, into our notes section. And that's common. I've found that to be common. But unfortunately, as you can see, we can't extract that. And what happens then, you end up having to read through all those previous notes. What does that do to you? It's a waste of time. You're already working so hard. We want to work smarter. That's what this is really all about. Okay, so we're helping with these applications, these systems, for you to be able to work smarter and not harder. Okay?
Hey, Drew?
Yes.
Can you show them how to save a report and have it emailed to them?
Oh, yeah. Okay. So is everyone looking? Screen? Okay. This little thing up here, subscribe. Just click on it. Okay. It's the page that you're looking for is this. The frequency, you want to receive it one time a day, or you want to get it weekly, however that is. Okay. And then you simply hit save and close. Now I'll be receiving that. It's very simple. Okay, pay attention one last time. Okay, everyone watching? All right, right here, subscribe. See the little envelope there? Click on it. It brings up accepted USCs. Okay? I want it daily. And I'm going to click on that.
Start at the first tile.
That's okay. Let me go on this one. All right, I'm just going to go on the first one. So you click on this. Again, it opens the report so that you can drill down. Up here on the right corner, hit subscribe. Okay, so what it does, it indicates here the report page I want to receive is this one. So I'll receive that daily. Really simple. It emails you. It'll email you that page of that report every day. Okay? Or if you want it weekly, whatever. There's a frequency there as a drop down for how often you want it and need it. Okay? So now we're going to take a test. You guys ready? I'm not. So you know, I've received more applause this week because of leaving than I have in the 3 years I've been here. Really, really.